right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark. Joining me, as always, is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder. Matt, I gotta tell you.
Yes.
I am currently rereading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
Fantastic book.
That's Dale Carnegie.
Yep,
Yeah.
Dale Carnegie, written close to 100 years ago at this point.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I love what we do. I love it.
Me too.
I love Renatus. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal being able to take part, even a littlest part, or being able to watch as people change their lives for the better.
Is that what it has to do with how to win friends and influence people?
No, but I have been so filled with gratitude as I'm reading this book.
Yeah. You know, gratitude has been deemed the healthiest of all emotion.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I mean, I've talked about it, in my nationals presentation a couple of years ago, but there's all sorts of studies. So it's worth Googling. You should look at it. But like, if you can get to a point of gratitude in your life, you can change your mind. Like, you literally can reprogram your brain. And there's a lot of significant, detectable benefits that come from it.
Well, I am filled with gratitude for Renatus, for the changes that I've been empowered to make in my life, and for the changes I have seen as other people are empowered to make changes in theirs.
Absolutely.
The changes
I know
I've seen as people are...
I heard what you said, or what you meant, not what you said, right? Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Nice.
I hear that.
It's just phenomenal, and sometimes I won't say I ever take it for granted, because I don't. And sometimes I don't focus on it.
I would say sometimes I do. Like, where I just, not for granted, but like where you just kind of, you forget how impactful it is, or like you kind of, like when, and I'll come back around and see another story or something that'll just really resonate with you.
Yep.
The stories that resonate with you the most are the ones that are most like yours, right?
Right.
It's like where they're identifiable,
right.
Where somebody might have kids the same age as you, or they might be in a similar situation, or struggle with similar things. Right. And those are fun because, it's so fun to see people's lives change for the better, right? Like, and how much I've seen people go through Renatus education and then, get involved with, different groups, study groups, whatever, right? But they get immersed in a community of people that are like-minded and thinking bigger and positive, and they get out of bad environments and that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And it's amazing to see what that looks like, especially over the course of years, right? Like you take that 3 or 5 years out and then you look at what that looks like. It's amazing to see what people turn into.
Were you the one who was telling me, I know that you were part of the conversation, but I can't remember if you were the one who was quoting the nun study.
Well, Woody quoted it, and then I did.
Okay.
I did a Good Vibrations on it after, but I got it from him.
But that was about gratitude, right?
Yeah, it was about positive thinking. So back in it was like the 20s, maybe 30s, 1930s, there was 680 participants, if you will, from this nun study. And researchers took their diaries, and
so these are all nuns.
These are all nuns, and the reason they wanted to do it with nuns was because it's like a controlled environment. So it's they all live a certain way. They're not going to have kids or drink or do all those things, right? Like, so it eliminated a lot of other kind of variables, and so you get a really good subset of people. Well, they found that the ones who wrote daily in their diaries or journals, whatever you want to call it, and said positive things, that they tended to the positives. So this is where it gets a little subjective, right? But like, they were a more positive person, right? Yeah. They saw the difficulties in their life under a positive light versus a negative one. They weren't complainers, and they lived. It was something like 80-something% of them were still alive at 90. Whereas a little less than a third of the negative ones were alive at 90. So in other words, there was a significant lifespan gap.
If you want to have the best odds of living a long and fruitful life,
yes,
take Bobby McFerrin's advice.
What's that?
Don't worry.
Be happy. Okay, yes, absolutely. It also warded off dementia and other diseases and stuff.
Isn't that crazy? How much of an effect positive thinking can have on insulating yourself from becoming that susceptible to diseases?
Our minds are so powerful.
Crazy.
And if you don't control it, it will control you.
Oh, man.
And I got to tell you, some days we got a battle of wills for me. So,
that's how many different elements in life have we seen as people are deliberately taking control and accountability for that element, that they are able to absolutely transform themselves. I mean, how many different... Because I'm sitting here thinking, man, there's not just the physical with the physiological and everything that goes along with it, but then there's the being able to be happier in my marriage, being able to be happier with my kids or with my job, or, just so many different elements, facets of this life that can be affected and changed for the good, bent to our will and pleasure as we are positive, happy, and enthusiastic about what we're doing.
Yeah, there's a quote that comes to mind. I can't remember who said it. It was somebody really smart and famous. But as a man thinketh, he is. Right? Who says that?
Well,
I'm gonna look it up.
What's his face wrote the book As a Man Thinketh? Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl.
Right.
But
Man's Search for Meaning.
Yeah. So it's really interesting in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He drops a quote. Oh man, I just lost who said it. But he's talking about arguments, and he says there is no point in arguing. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. He says if you lose the argument, you've lost, and if you win the argument, then you've lost someone.
Oh.
And I thought,
wow.
Oh, that's really interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, that's kind of
and he's not saying that you can't correct somebody.
Yeah.
He's just saying there's no point in arguing about it.
Yeah.
None. And then the quote that he dropped was, a man convinced against his will is a man of the same conviction still.
Oh, yeah, that's the truth. I mean, that's other studies have proven that, right? Like,
right.
Especially, think about this, okay? You have an opinion, and somebody's trying to change it, particularly on social media or some kind of, forum like that.
Yeah.
What do most people do? They dig their heels in.
Oh, yeah.
And agree even more with the thought that they had in the beginning instead of, looking to see if there's any truth.
It's all about love.
Yeah.
It's all, the other thing was they had a quote from Mahatma Gandhi that said, you can't fix hatred with hatred.
Yeah.
You can only fix it with love. And I thought, man, how much of the ills of this world could be just fixed with love?
Yeah.
Let me focus on what I can do for you instead of focusing on what you can do for me.
That'd change the world.
Oh man, it's changed my life.
Yeah.
As I focus on that, it absolutely has transformed my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Selfishness, I would say, is probably, like that focus on self and what I'm getting and what I got. And it's tough because I think that, generally speaking, people are hardwired on a deep level way, right? Like we come that way for survival.
Exactly. We get into this protective mindset where we're like, no, I'm going to protect what is mine. I'm going to ensure that it is here tomorrow when I wake up.
Yep.
And some people are unwilling to take any risk at all on the off chance that they lose something.
Yeah.
But they completely ignore the massive gain that is right there at their fingertips.
Yeah.
They just go, no, I might lose something.
So that right there, I think, is the problem. That a lot of people get stuck in that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Yeah.
And when they get educated through Renatus, and they're spending time around other people who are flipping homes
inspired.
Or short-term. Yeah, exactly. I think your mindset opens up to stop being so I got Michael Huggins is in my mind.
So you're thinking, oh man, I just lost it. Right? You've got the abundant and you've got scarcity.
Scarcity. Thank you. I'm thinking, in a scarcity mindset, and it changes to a mindset of abundance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This has been a great session there, Dr. Snyder. Thank you.
Yep, I'll be here all week. You can contact my office.
You should be. This has been Inspiring Hour with Dr. Matt Snyder.
But Derry Merbles, right? From Parks and Rec. That's what that voice. I always hear that. Right?
Oh man. Well, yeah. I am
for your thoughts by Derry Merbles. You guys look that up.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. I am truly grateful for Renatus. I love it. I love it.
Me too.
So speaking about that, what is new and exciting inside of Renatus?
Man, well, we've got a 10-day challenge coming up.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Starting when?
November something.
Very good. In November at some point in time. So the 10-day challenge is starting
So it's accurate.
It is not wrong, and yet just doesn't feel right.
When is it happening, Jay?
November 1st.
That's what it is. It's November.
Next Tuesday.
I was thinking November 11th, but that's the regional.
That is the regional. You're jumping ahead of my notes here.
Sorry, guys. There's a regional happening November 11th.
Wow.
Be there.
Wow.
Yeah. But you should do the 10-day, because guess when the 10-day will end?
On November the 10th.
Yeah. So
there you go.
You'll be done with a 10-day and right into the regional.
So here's what I have seen. Out of all of the different programs, out of all of the different trainings and everything that we've done inside of Renatus, let's say in the last 5 years, the thing that has catapulted people forward the furthest, the fastest in their business has been the 10-day challenge.
Yeah.
For those people who engage with the 10-day challenge and actually do the work. They don't just think about doing the work. They don't just hope to do the work, but actually do the work. Making their list, contacting those people, setting up the PBR, PZM with their upline, contacting their pack members, attending the meetings, and just showing up in their own life. Those people have had phenomenal success, and we've seen it over and over.
Well, absolutely. I think it's also important to work on yourself. I think through that process, you're doing just that.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
But become somebody that people want to do a PZM with or a PBR, right? Like they want to be. Right. They want to listen to you. You gotta be somebody that people actually want to listen to, right? And so.
Yes.
There's something there, and the people that I see come in and they work on themselves and they do these steps that are in the 10-day. They do this stuff. I see significant gains take place.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of stories, right?
Yes.
Michael Huggins comes to mind, right? But like Jiffy Lube, changing oil, riding a bike to work kind of guy, and over the years I watched that guy do so much work on himself and then do all of those things in the 10-day challenge, and it's amazing to see the end result, right? Like what's taken place. Anyways.
Yeah, and focus on for everybody engaged in the 10-day challenge. Don't focus on what you want from people. Instead, focus on what you can contribute to those people.
Yeah.
As you learn to add value to the people around you, the more valuable you will become.
Absolutely. And I think little caveat to that or comma.
No caveats.
No, you gotta. If you're going to operate that way, you can't have any expectation.
Oh yeah, you can't do it with the wrong mindset.
You cannot go, I'm going to do this thing
just so you give back to me.
So I get something out of you.
Yep.
Because then people can feel it, they can smell it, and you're a different person when you're doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so there's something that feels different about somebody who just wants to provide value in your life, and they don't want anything in return.
Yeah.
And then now, I can think of an individual who came into my life and has operated this way, and now I want to do anything I can for him.
Right.
right? Like
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, he's really good at it.
So here's the deal.
Because he really doesn't expect anything in return.
Exactly.
That's what's amazing. It's
exactly. And that's what I call authenticity.
It is.
When you show up with the desire to truly bless somebody else's life without any expectation of getting gain back, that is when you will truly add value and become invaluable to people. You will become so valuable that they can no longer quantify the value you add to their life.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the 10-day challenge. That starts next Tuesday, November the 1st. Get engaged. Get all of your people engaged and go fight win. It's awesome. And then we have the regionals.
The regionals coming up.
Yeah. Now, we have Fort Lauderdale is up next in Florida, November 4th and 5th.
In South Florida. That's how you have to say it.
South Florida.
That's how I say it. Yeah.
Just because you say it wrong doesn't make it right.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't, though. Yeah. What time zone are we in?
I don't know. Utah time. That's all that matters.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So we got Fort Lauderdale coming up. And then we've got Salt Lake City right on the heels of that, followed by Phoenix.
Yes.
And each one of these is going to be an exceptional event. I was on the phone this morning with Debbie Worthington, talking with her a little bit about the Fort Lauderdale Regional. It's going to be awesome. Not only is it going to be awesome, but this is the only regional where Don Fowler, the creator of the Renatus iOS system, will be.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Trust me.
Was he just like, I want to go to Florida. Can you get me a business trip to Florida?
Actually, he lives in Florida. Not to,
okay. All right.
But he did say, Jay, I want to spend more time around the Renatus community. Where can I go to absolutely share anything that I can with the Renatus community? And I said, well, what about the regional right in your backyard? And he said, hook me up.
Perfect.
And so Debbie just welcomed him with open arms. So we've got Don Fowler that's going to be in Fort Lauderdale. We've got Greg Kimball, Dr. Greg Kimball, who's going to be there. We also have Scott Rowe, Nancy Rowe, Eric Counts, Bob Snyder, Bob Tierney, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe Mr. Michael Huggins will be there as well.
Oh, that would be awesome. I know that, he's been having a baby. So his
wife has been
his wife had a baby. Yeah.
But the baby is here, healthy, happy.
Yep.
I've seen him on video.
Yeah, have you?
Yep. Cute little guy. But
I don't know that I've seen his youngest. All right. Well, you got special privileges.
I did. So. I get those,
Yeah.
I keep telling them they either have to name their baby after me or just let me see him in videos. So I see a lot of baby videos.
You see a lot of babies.
There's not a whole lot of babies out there named Jay.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
That's a crying shame.
Yeah, it is. So
anyway.
Keep reading books, Jay. Become influential. You'll get your day.
All right, so we got Fort Lauderdale. Salt Lake is followed right on that, and we have already spent most of today talking about the Salt Lake Regional and about everything that's going to be going on there. It is going to be action-packed. Don't want to miss that. And then we've got the Phoenix Regional right behind that, which is going to be, again, just an incredible opportunity to rub shoulders with national and local leaders in your markets.
Go do yourself a favor, go to the regional.
I got to tell you this.
Yeah?
On the pack call on Monday,
yeah,
Mr. Tierney once again tells the story that we warn against. Every single time that we have the regional or the national conference or the leaders retreat.
What do we warn against?
We warn against this every single time. We always have people that walk up to us and they say this, and this is verbatim.
That's right.
It doesn't matter who it is or where they come from. They always say these exact words.
Yep.
If I had known it was going to be this good, I would have invited more people.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. We've talked about it on this podcast a million times.
Oh my goodness.
And we still get it, and I can't wait to get it. I'll feel almost sad if I don't. Somebody doesn't. Like, I'll be like, was this event not good?
Was this not good enough?
Yeah, like
no. So Bob Tierney said that somebody walked up to him after the Chicago Regional and said, "Man, if I had known it was going to be this good," and I just thought, man, just if you can hear us, please don't be that guy.
Know ahead of time.
Yes,
it's going to be amazing. Now
just
come,
trust us.
Yeah, and bring everyone because I can only speak for the Denver Regional. That's when I was at. I was physically present.
Yeah. Denver
Regional was amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have seen such an influx of people come in from that regional. So, the events, it converts head to heart, right? It takes it from your head to your heart. People bleed blue after because they see the vision, they get it.
Yeah.
They get the full scope of what Renatus is and what
they
we're
see
trying
the
to
change,
accomplish.
Right?
Here.
They see the change in other people and in their lives, and they realize this is real.
Yeah, and I think I've said it before. I'll say it again in case people haven't heard. If there's new people, but like, I always did whatever I could to get people to the regionals and to nationals because, especially those that I know are like they're on the edge, but they're not so sure about Renatus. I've even personally paid for their tickets myself, right?
Right.
With, again, no expectation. If they don't buy or whatever, that's fine. That was my loss. That was a risk I was willing to take. But all of them purchased. So I can't think of a single ticket I bought where they didn't come down and they saw the change. It wasn't, probably, you're going to make $1 million. It's none of that, right? Like it's, they just saw the change that took place in people and wow, this is the real deal. Like you see all sorts of this guy is, you'll just meet people. Yeah. I was just talking to Randall, my brother-in-law, I can't even remember the number they're at now with short-term rentals, but he's like, yeah, we just acquired 7 more. And, it's just amazing. Like they've done this just in the last year. They're probably around 20, I guess. I don't know. They've got quite a few. So
yeah. And I love hearing the stories and I love seeing the change. And it always just, it makes me sad for those people who either they hear us and don't believe us or they don't hear us at all. Mm-hmm. And maybe they show up and then they regret not having brought more people.
Yeah.
And not having given other people a chance to see the massive impact that Renatus is making.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Come down, see it.
Come down and see it. We got two more with your own eyes. 2 more quick announcements.
Okay, what's up?
Then we're going to move on to our featured guest.
Let's get to our guest. Yeah, what do we got?
Next Monday. Monday.
What's Monday?
Halloween.
Okay.
Also known as New Hallows Eve.
I don't know anything about Halloween history other than I grew up getting candy. That's all I know. Yeah. So what is New Hallows Eve?
I don't know. Halloween.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew there was some.
Nope.
Back in 1745 in Salem, Massachusetts. I have no idea. I don't know. All right, cool.
I don't have.
I should probably look that up.
Information, but I can tell you it is also Dia de los Muertos.
I don't know what that is. Oh, Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
That's what it is.
So
in
Halloween.
Mexico?
So October 31st and November 1st are Dia de los Muertos, I believe. And if I get it wrong, I apologize. I'm just so excited about it. I love the Day of the Dead. The more that I have learned about that holiday, the more I love it.
Huh. Okay.
I love it.
How
it's
come?
Cool. It's an opportunity to really reflect on and honor your heritage, to look back at the people in your life, your grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and to honor their lives and to really reflect on the impact that their life has had on you.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to take that opportunity and remember that. Memorial Day in the United States has become really about visiting grave sites, right? And that's cool. It's not quite the same, I don't feel, where with the Day of the Dead, it's all about celebration more than just remembering. You celebrate those people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
That's cool.
I just like it. Okay.
Any other announcements?
No more announcements.
All right.
I'm announced-ed out. Announcement-ed.
Bring out our guest.
I would love to. So our guest is somebody. Oh man, I'm gonna mess it up. It's been 7 years.
Don't mess
8 years. 7, 8. It's been a little while.
Spend some time.
I'm gonna say 8.
Okay.
It's been 8 years. No, 7, 9.
Almost 7.
Almost 7. What can I say? It's just you feel like a natural extension at this point. So I have known our featured guest for 7 years. She was one of the very first participants that we had on this podcast. She has been instrumental in serving the Renatus community. I would dare say that almost all customers have had an opportunity to interact with this individual from time to time.
Fair.
And
it's fair. I
gotta be honest. So in a customer advocacy type position, we have nobody has 100% positive review, right? Everybody calls in, they're ticked off, they whatever, and they leave ticked off sometimes.
It's happened a time or two.
I don't think I've ever gotten one single complaint about this individual in almost 7 years. Not one. She is phenomenal. She brings such a spirit of servant leadership to the Renatus home team, but then also to our community. She truly enables and empowers every person that she interacts with, and she is, in my humble estimation, one of the voices of this company. That is none other than Miss Tera Gilsdorf.
Thank you.
You're a freaking rock star. You're a rock star.
Absolutely.
Outside of the fact that you don't live like right here, you're a rock star.
It's an hour. It's a whole hour away.
I know. It's too far away.
It is.
It is. So tell me, when exactly did you come on with Renatus?
So it was April 21st of 16. So 6.5 years.
6.5.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it was
You said
right
2016? Is that what you said?
16. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's been a minute then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I
was thinking it was 2015 that you came on board.
Okay. Wait. Was it? No. It was 16.
I don't know for sure. I just remember thinking that
it was 16.
Was it? Because
I'm going through milestones
now.
in my head. It was 16. There's a couple of milestones.
Fair enough.
That I'm going through, but it's funny. I just played out a whole other scenario in my mind about when you first started and some of the responsibilities that got heaped on you very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good times.
It was good times.
Well, we were learning.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yes, yeah. We definitely created an opportunity for growth very quickly for Tera and the company. But Tera, you have dealt with most, if not all, of our customers and our ICMs. You've taken opportunity to either chat with them online, send them emails, or visit with them on the phone, not even to mention interacting with them at the national conference. What is your perspective on the Renatus community?
They're great. I mean, I love what I do because of them. I mean, when they call or chat in, whatever email, they're so nice, all of them. I mean, they just want help, Yeah. That's all they're looking for.
After Jay was like, they're all angry.
Well, there's a couple, but it's, you talk with them so they understand, and then they're good. So, yeah, the community's great. I love it.
It is fantastic.
Yep.
And I remember when you and I interviewed together way back in the day, I told you that our community was different than anything else you'd ever experienced. And said, most of the people that are going to call in are going to be really positive and happy to get to know you. It's interesting to me how many long-standing relationships that you've been able to create with our community. So many people have come to rely on you so that when they call in and they hear your voice, they're like, yeah, I got Tera.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yeah.
That part's awesome.
Yeah.
What have been some of the biggest moments for you. If we looked at the highlight reel of you and Renatus, what are some of those moments consisting of?
Oh, well, I mean, you guys have given me a lot of opportunity to grow. I mean, I've always done customer service jobs. Yeah. And here, like, you put me in front of the camera and, just fun stuff like that. So.
Invite you to a nationally syndicated podcast.
Syndicated. Yes.
Well, we go across multiple platforms. That's syndicated, isn't it?
We're on everywhere. So we're worldwide. We're globally syndicated.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when I know that you came on in April of 2016, and when would you say is the first time that you felt Renatus, that opportunity to no longer just like the company that you work for, but become a banner carrier for the company that you now represent?
So it was pretty immediate. When I started, it was right after Nationals, just a few weeks after. And, everyone calling in still pumped up from it and so excited, sharing their stories. So it was pretty immediate for me.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have there been any funny situations that you've had, things that have happened that just made you laugh? Come on, you got some. I know you've got some.
I probably have some, but me remembering them.
What everybody at home doesn't know is that Tera is actually a stand-up comedian on the weekends.
You're funny. That is like the last last thing I would ever be.
She's a comedian in her own right.
Just
not on stage. It's not a stand-up. Sit down.
Oh man.
Comedian.
So I know that you've been instrumental in bringing about so many of the processes that we now adhere to inside of our customer advocacy team and in other parts of the business. You've been around for so many of the massive changes, right? Going from the business center to Helios to the back office. What do you feel like you've learned from those opportunities? What do you feel like you've seen as being like the biggest? What's been the most impactful change you've seen? And what kind of effect has it had on the people that you've worked with?
So biggest impactful, I think, is, our education is awesome. Always updating classes and things. The Genius package, our newest one, so many people are that's probably what stands out to me most in my mind, because so many people call in about it and just, this is great. And,
Awesome.
So yeah, that I would say for the community. I'm trying to think personal. Man.
I got to be honest. I'm surprised you said Genius 21 days.
Really?
Not that it's not phenomenal, but I thought for sure you would have said comp plan.
The comp plan.
Either the comp plan or the switch between the back office and Helios.
Yeah, those were some big ones, huh?
Yeah.
Those
Those were huge.
Yeah, the switch from the old system to Helios was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
So what
during Nationals?
that was great.
And released
and
Profits. That was
Profits
fun.
was released.
That's actually my record phone call day from incoming calls.
What was right after the national conference in 2020?
Yes.
Or
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like 84.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's nuts. Yeah, because I forgot that's also the national was here because 2020 shut the world down.
Yep.
So the world shut down. Profits was being released.
COVID.
We were switching to a new system.
New comp plan.
Yeah, new comp plan, everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's when we had the 3-star qualification come out.
Yep.
Dude, we didn't go halfway on that national, did we?
No, it was a big one. Yeah. And
Man, you got me like reliving that, all of that.
I know, right? It was a lot.
To me, it feels like it was longer than it has been. Like if you tell me it was 2.5 years ago, it's like, wow, it really feels like it was like 4 or 5.
We have packed so much in.
That's what I'm saying.
These last couple of years.
That's what I'm saying. There's just so much that's taken place in the last 2.5 years. it feels like 5. It's crazy. Yeah.
So, I've got a couple other questions for you.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear what would you say is the most common question that you get that you feel like ICMs may have glossed over too quickly with their new people?
Oh, it's probably simple stuff that they probably just don't even think about. Like where to go to access their education, where in their account.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
How to sign in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and while we're talking about this, I got to mention everyone, make sure you sign up for onboarding with Audrey every Thursday. She does a phenomenal job and walks through the basics and more. So, yeah, whether you've been with the company for years or brand new, it's for everyone. So
it really is, because she goes through all of the current updates in the back office.
Yep.
She shows you where everything is located, and she takes time to answer any questions that you may have as she's going through it. And it's only an hour long, and you get the recording afterward.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yep.
So you said it's basically the simple things. So how what would you say is your preferred medium for people to get in touch with you?
Well, calling's great. I love talking to people. Yeah, call.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. So call. I like it. So, all right. Sorry. Did you have a question?
Nope.
All right.
I'm just fixing my mic because I don't sit in the same spot long enough to.
He starts to wander over here, just in case you haven't noticed that. He just do. We have
Andrew's
these motion.
Fix this camera every time because
We have motion activated lights, and a lot of us, when we get into meetings, the lights will turn off. They're 30-minute timers.
Yeah.
And if they don't sense motion for 30 minutes, they turn off. So most of us will be sitting in the middle of a meeting, and our light will just flip off. Not Matthew.
No freaking
how, no
way.
way.
No. It's literally never happened. But I don't know how can you sit still for 30 minutes? Like, I mean, still, right? Like, I at least, like, a movement like this would turn it on. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you don't shift. I mean, I'm sitting on my wallet, and like, I gotta, it's making my leg go numb.
That's why you front pocket carry your wallet, man.
Yeah, well.
Everybody can tell you that.
Yeah. I kind of like the tingly sensation in my right foot.
So
what have been some of your favorite stories of the changes that you've seen people go through in Renatus?
Well, oh my gosh, there's so many. I love hearing stories about what people learn, like with the education. And what their goal is and how they met that goal just by watching our education. I mean, so much info in every class that it's fun to see people take it from, watching it to they're living the dream now. So yeah, I love hearing stories about that.
Yeah, me too. I'll never forget watching. So I think, man, was it our second national conference? We did this little giveaway thing. We had like a drawing, and Scott and Allison Huminski won it. And they got up and they started telling their story about some of the success that they had created by applying the education. And I see posts from them every once in a while. They are living their best life. They are just, they have created such a level of success. I just love those guys, and seeing stories like that. I absolutely agree. It's transformative for me because I go, oh, right. It's like we were talking about earlier about, it's not that you lose any kind of enthusiasm, but it's that you maybe don't focus on it for a while. Those stories bring it right back. Bring it right back to home. I love it.
Yeah, good reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a reminder of, what we're doing matters. And, the Walk of Fame really got me. At nationals, like if you're not familiar, at nationals, we had everybody who was in attendance at the national come up if they've done at least one deal since joining Renatus. And so they had to get up. There's 4 things. There was their name,
where they're from,
how long they've been with Renatus, and how many deals they've done.
Yeah.
And I aggregated those numbers, and they were a great many. It was incredible. But if you think about it, right, our last national, the amount of people that came up on stage, there's probably about 35%, 30 to 35% of the entire attendance of the national goes up on stage and has done a deal. That was incredible for me. That was like, it happens every year. It gets me, but it's like, wow, this is...
the Real Estate Walk of Fame is incredible, but also watching the Walk of Stars, the 1, 3, and 5 star, watching that, oh my gosh, people are so excited to celebrate that they've had opportunity to invite people to come into Renatus, and through that have been changing their own life.
Yeah.
By inviting others to do the same thing. So incredible.
Well, and the thing that kind of got me with the Walk of Fame was that the average. I better not spout numbers. I know that the average per year was 5.9. I think it was 25.9 was the. I'll pull up the number. I don't know. We can talk about it later, but
it was incredible.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm accurate, right? And so I know there was 186 people that got up. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So that was incredible.
Yeah.
And I love seeing it.
Yeah, super super cool. So Tera, what do you feel like has been the biggest change in yourself since coming on board? I mean, outside of getting to work with me, I'm just saying.
Changing myself. Wow, I feel like so much has changed in my own life since I started.
Yeah.
Man.
Let me, can I share? Go ahead. You go, and then I'm going to share my own observation.
Well, I was going to say gratitude. We were talking about that earlier before we started. I think I have a lot more gratitude now, just appreciation. I mean, seeing how many lives and stuff we affect.
Yeah.
It'll.
That's awesome. I was actually going to say love. I have seen an outpouring of love from you to our community in your own life with your family. It's been incredible to see that. And not that you didn't have love before. It's just been fun to see that as it continues to escalate and build in your life. So
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like I've built friendships too with a lot of the people that I call in, or email or anything. So it's fun.
I just realized. Can I drop a personal tidbit?
Yeah.
About you?
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Tera and I connect so well is that she is a total car nut. I almost called you a car guy, and I'm like, that's probably politically incorrect to call you a car guy, but she's a total car guy. Totally loves cars.
Yeah.
So here we go. If you had all the money in the world right now, what vehicle are you going to go buy?
So American Muscle. It would be a Shelby GT500.
Ooh.
Out of all of them, I know.
Why not the GT?
Shelby?
Why not the GT? Like the GT40, the GT.
I've always wanted a 500.
Oh,
always.
Man, those suckers.
Super snake.
They are sweet.
They do. They're pretty. They
just
sound
last
pretty.
Week, I was driving through Logan.
Yep.
On my right side, I hear something pull up, and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds good." I look over; it was a GT350.
Yeah.
Right, the Shelby GT350. Oh.
They're just yes. They've always been that way to me since I was little, and now that's the feeling I get when I see them. So it'd be. I tell
you what, I still, if I ever see a Fox body Cobra. From back in the late 80s, early 90s, it still turns in my head. It's like, oh, look at that thing.
So fast.
Love
Didn't
it.
play nothing, yep.
Love it. That's awesome.
That is.
That wouldn't be my car of choice at all. But I love that you love it.
Yeah. What would yours be?
Yeah, what would it be?
Oh, that's hard. Dang it. I shouldn't have opened that up.
Yeah, like that's like saying, so it's like which one's your favorite child, right? Like how do you pick?
They know. They know.
I don't know. You should tell me.
Oh, you could ask any one of my kids. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I'm the favorite.
Yeah. They each are the favorite.
That's right.
That's
So
that's dad advice right there.
The car that I'm angling for, and this is just pure sentimentality, right?
Okay.
I'm not a sentimental kind of guy.
Right. He's not.
I'm not.
So what would it be?
It would probably be a 1983 Ferrari 308 GTB.
That's specific. I don't even know what that is.
Magnum PI, baby.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, anyway. I just love them. I've loved them since I was a kid. They're not even that fast. I don't know. But, I mean, all the money in the world, if you're going to get a practical supercar, go for McLaren or Porsche. Those are both phenomenal cars. Man, the 720S,
if I've got
so good.
$750,000, $900,000, $1 million to spend on a car, it would be an actual rally car. That's what I would. That's what I would be driving around. I know it doesn't look cool, but man, that thing performance-wise,
you can't beat the performance on those suckers. All-wheel drive, crazy torque.
Yeah, watch Gymkhana if you're like. That's what I'd have Ken Block build me a car. That's what I would do.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I could do that.
That's what I'm saying.
A little hoonigan.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I would have. Right?
That's a good
pick.
Dude, one of my favorite shot, I think, is the very first one they ever did for Gymkhana with the Hoonicorn.
Oh, yeah?
Where they...
Well, that's not the first one they did.
I know. The very first shot they did with the Hoonicorn is one of my all-time favorite videos. You can go out and watch this one. You can quote me on this. They take the Hoonicorn, which is an old 65 body Mustang that they have just
They put
made fast.
11 or 1400. I think it was.
I think
1100,
in the beginning it was like 1100,
and then they
added the big old twin turbos on there and all sorts. Anyway, the very first shot that they ever did with it, they have the Hoonicorn sitting in like this warehouse looking thing, and they chain it to the ground, and they do a 4-wheel burnout. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so there is just smoke billowing out of every side of that car.
Yes. Yeah, and then they release the chains. Don't they? Like they push a button or something, and the chains just release and it takes off.
So great. So great. Love those.
That was a cool shot.
It was. But honestly, I mean, you cannot beat the drivability of a McLaren is crazy. And the appeal. They're rare, and the doors, just those vertical swing doors. The Koenigsegg, outside of being Swedish, that thing is it's good.
Those are
they do
are
make
awesome.
pretty cars.
Yeah. And I love Christian von Koenigsegg, the owner, the creator of Koenigsegg.
Yep.
He's like the Elon Musk of cars. I know that sounds funny because Elon Musk actually builds cars, but Elon Musk did not found Tesla. Elon Musk bought Tesla. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Christian von Koenigsegg made Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he was actually the very first one who ever designed carbon fiber rims.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he actually's got a whole little video on how he did it. It's really pretty cool. But yeah, I would definitely go more exotic, more fast. If I went American, I'm going to get either the Raptor or the T-Rex. My boy and I saw the other day, we saw a Raptor that had Velociraptor printed across the back. But I thought the Velociraptors were 6x6. I thought they were 6-wheel drive.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, though. Those 6x6s that were built. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But you would go American Muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'd go with. That would be number 2, right? I love American Muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of Hellcat or Demon or something, man. But I love listening to those. There's nothing like a V8 motor that screams like that. There's something visceral about it.
Okay, I know that we're taking a lot of the Renatus J.A.M. to talk about cars here, but
it's worth it.
It is worth it. And Ken Block, I know you're in the area. If you ever want to come out here and be on the podcast,
man. We'll
make you an honorary ICM so you can be on the podcast.
And you can actually take out the Freedom Wagon. Let's see what you can do with that bad boy.
Oh, dude. Next, Gymkhana, whatever, 12 or whatever you guys are on, right? Like,
that's awesome.
I want to see that.
No,
Have Pastrana jump it.
I love the sound of a throaty V8 when it is all natural and that thing pulls up next to you and you can still like feel it like bumping in your chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is nothing, and I repeat this just with full vigor, nothing that sings like an Italian. Oh.
Yeah, I love how quickly they rev.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I love that, but
let me
just American muscle, man.
Let me preface this.
Vin
I
Diesel,
should have prefaced this.
You know, like
Vin Diesel.
Come on, man. 9-second quarter miles. I'm talking Fast and Furious now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So I should have prefaced.
Races Paul Walker, and he's got the muscle car. He pulls up in that.
this
Anyways,
by saying that the very first car that I ever drove, 100% sitting in the driver's seat driving, was a 1988 Porsche 944.
Yeah.
So I have been converted to the German Italian brand of manufacturing since I was a kid.
They're amazing.
So there's that. Mm-hmm. But then the first Ferrari I ever drove was a Ferrari F430. And that is literally, you are sharing breathing room with the engine.
Yeah.
You're in the same compartment.
Yeah.
It is literally,
it's a race car,
turn around
right?
and the engine, I could touch it.
Yeah, it's a race car,
right there.
Right? Like
Oh,
it's not like a car
And
you just
you could be
daily
going,
driver. It's a race car.
You could be going 5 miles an hour and you just listen to that engine.
This is the issue I have with electric. Like I want a Tesla. They're awesome, but it's like that. I love that visceral, like, you know, if I'm going to spend $100,000 on a car, I want it to be muscle.
Yeah. You want to feel it when you drive.
Yeah, I want to feel it.
Well, I tell you what, there's nothing like feeling your stomach become a puddle at the bottom of your spine with the acceleration that those cars
They
have.
are insane.
They are incredible.
They are absolutely insane. I'm sure, like,
Porsche
all the money in the world, one of the top 5, like the 5 cars I would buy, they would be a Tesla. It would be the
Porsche Taycan.
You think so? Isn't that the SUV or the 4-door?
No.
What is that?
That's their plug-in.
Oh yeah.
Is they're all electric.
Okay.
Their 918 was a hybrid.
That's right.
And that's beautiful, but super rare.
And expensive.
Oh, super expensive.
Yeah.
The Taycan is much more in the Adam puts on here, get a flat tire in an EV. You can still feel the vibrations.
Coming from our resident Tesla
owner.
Yeah.
No. The Porsche Taycan actually beat the Plaid. The Tesla, what the hell was it? The 120, the 120P or the P120 Plaid, whatever it is.
I don't know.
The 120. I can't even remember all the numbers. I miss when cars used to have names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Infiniti really ruined that. Audi and Infiniti, they came out and started
like
just
the
giving
Q30.
they started giving everything a number, and then BMW followed suit, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really sorry. I know that we've taken a lot of time.
We have, but it's of interest. I don't know. I'm sure we lost some people along the way.
Probably did, but you know what? It was an investment worth making because there is something just so wonderful about cars.
Well, yeah. I find it really fun to listen to people talk about things they're really passionate about.
Oh yeah.
I do not like helicopters, but I was listening to a podcast just the other day, and they went on for like a 20-minute rant about helicopters because they both found out that each other owns a helicopter.
Oh, nice.
And so they're like
nice.
they like personally own them, and so they're talking about it. I'll never own it. I don't. I mean, even money aside,
Never
like I don't.
never.
I'll never say never. I might, but I don't like the idea of flying in a helicopter. So, unless it's life flight and I need
and
to,
I'm unconscious.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, but it was really fascinating to hear him talk about it. There's a lot of things that aren't of interest, but it's when you got people that are passionate about it, it's fun to listen to them.
Yeah.
So.
When it comes to cars, I can find something to love about every single car. I have never found a car that I hate through and through.
Really?
There's always something. Even if I don't like a car, like I took out a Jeep Renegade a little while ago and was tootling around in that thing. Really don't like it. Jeep, when they did their crossover with Fiat and they took the the Renegade and whatever the Fiat edition of that is, and melded them together. I really just don't love it. You know, I love that Jeep is a purist's vehicle, right? It's designed for one thing and one thing only. And I love that about Jeep. It's not my style necessarily, but I love that.
Yeah.
But when they tried to make this weird Renegade crossover thing, I didn't love that.
You were out.
But I opened up the gas cap, and when you or the compartment for the gas cap, and they just stamped the Spider in there, just for kicks.
The Jeep?
Yeah, the Renegade. They just have a Spider on the inside of the little gas door.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I love this thing. I don't even like it, but I love it. It's hilarious. So funny.
Yeah.
Anybody who can have that kind of fun in developing a car.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Jeeps either. I'm not like really passionate about cars.
Yeah.
I really like racing, which is why again I would go with the rally car, right?
Yeah.
Like but you know that they get they're all right.
Here's the trivia. We told you guys last week, for everybody who's still on the line with us who has persisted through all of this.
The Trackhawk, that's the Jeep to own.
Oh my gosh.
That's the Jeep I would have.
The Cherokee Trackhawk.
Yeah.
That one's very rare as well.
Yes.
And very expensive.
But that's the one I would own. Sorry, you were saying.
No, it's okay. That's like the Viper truck. That's just right up there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I went back and looked. We did not have any additional questions from the video last week.
Okay.
That I thought, okay, well, we can
bags,
answer those.
Come up with questions.
But here's a little bit of trivia. And if you guys can come back with the answer, I'll think of some way to recognize you, get you some kind of an award. A little bit of trivia here. You ready for this?
Yeah.
There was in Japan in the 90s a gentleman's agreement. I love this. A gentleman's agreement that they would not break 200 brake horsepower in their cars. Period.
Brake horsepower?
So BHP, brake horsepower. That's what it stands for.
What
horsepower.
Okay.
But it's called BHP. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There was a gentleman's agreement that they would not cross the 200 horsepower line because they did not want to fall into the same trap that the Americans were falling into, which was more and more and more and more and more horsepower. So in Japan, what they did is they got more and more and more refined on the engines and were able to draw more power from smaller engines. And so they really started to pioneer the use of turbos and all sorts of other stuff, trying to really push their engines to the limit.
Okay.
Now, I know this because I own one of these cars. I have a 1991 MR2 Turbo. My bit of trivia, my question for all the callers on the line is, do you know, can you come up with the saying that was stamped on a very few of the Japanese manufactured Toyota MR2s in the 90s?
Wow, that is a specific,
very specific
of trivia. Is this available online? Like, if
maybe you might be able to find it, but I think you would only be able to find it if you knew what it was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna try and find it now.
If you guys can find it and you can reply back to this video in the comments with the, or you know what? Let's do this. If you just email Renatus@myrenatus.com with the answer and say in the subject line, put Renatus J.A.M answer, instead of putting it here so that everybody sees it, send that email to Renatus@myrenatus.com.
So I get a question, right? I know that things change and a lot of these inboxes all end up in the same place.
Shh.
Right? But it was support.
That one still works.
Okay. And customer service at myrenatus.com.
That one works.
So did we got Renatus at Renatus? Like, is that, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right, that's cool.
That's cool. So what we did is we created a few more so that we could have like a specific from emails.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that it would show up and be a little bit more clear what we were contacting people about.
Right.
So for example, when I send out the announcement for the Founders Live saying that, oh yeah, we're taking a day off for Halloween or whatever, it'll come from founderslive@myrenatus.com.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So anyway, been fun to talk about vehicles.
Yeah, it has.
I like cars.
I do too.
They're fun.
They are.
I'm glad, we didn't
They're almost as fun as bikes.
I was going to say, we didn't get into motorcycles or motocross because I know that's where Matt likes to take us.
That's where it's at. So you want to see something amazing, look up. Scott Rowe sent this to me last night. maybe like I hadn't already watched it like 1,000 times. But Ken Roxon, if you remember 2 years ago at the National, I highlighted him in a story, right, about what he's overcome to. Well, anyways, Red Bull Straight Rhythm was a competition that was just held, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And just watch Ken Roxon scrub over the tabletop. He's racing Justin Barsha, right? And they're doing this on 2-strokes, so old school bikes that they build.
Love those.
And
you can't build the sound. You cannot beat the sound of a 2-stroke.
It's amazing
in the power band.
It's amazing. It sounds wonderful. But
yes.
when you're watching these guys, it's rained. It has rained all day this day, right? So the track is slick, and people aren't daring to do this sort of stuff. And Roxon just came out like, like he was just in a flow state, man. Like he was just in the zone. And you can tell, I love watching people ride when they're like this. I've seen Eli Tomac do it. I've seen Carmichael do it. James Stewart's done it. Like, I love it when it's just, they're on a whole nother level from everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, that scrub over that tabletop is all over different social media platforms. So Scott Rowe sent it to me, and I was like, that is awesome. And then I sent him the whole video because I was like, this is where it's from. You should watch this. This is incredible. But go out and watch Ken Roxon scrub over Red Bull Straight Rhythm. It's amazing. I mean, nobody's doing this stuff. He dips the bike to the point where the handlebars basically drag off the lip of the jump, right? Like that's how hard he scrubbed it. And it is raining. It is slick. They are dead in the middle of a race. And, you can't let off the gas when you're doing that kind of stuff. So he's just pinned coming right up the face. Unreal. It literally looked like it was going to be a crash, and he landed it like
it was just another Tuesday.
Butter. Smooth as butter. It was so
You know what?
Awesome.
With that, I think we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
Miss Tera, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
You are phenomenal, and you are a massive blessing, not just in my life, not even just to the home team, but to the Renatus community at large. So thank you for everything that you do and who you are. On behalf of myself and my co-host, Mr. Matt Snyder, we want to give a shout-out to Mr. Andrew's with us, right? Yeah, it's Andrew James today. For a second, I got a little...
Yeah, and James might be back there, too.
Andrew James and James Richens. Give a shout-out to both of them. Why not? For helping us out with our video and graphics and all of that good stuff. And then I also want to recognize our Renatus Nation as a whole. Renatus truly rocks because of the many people who are associated with it. They bring so much value and so much just awesomeness to the family. I am filled with gratitude today as we sign off. So thanks for everything, everybody. Renatus rocks.